AI is going to strengthen patients, making them more confident, making them more prepared. It's not going to weaken doctors, okay? I don't believe there's any fear by giving tools to doctors that you're going to make them lesser doctors. If that was the case, up to date, which virtually every doctor has a subscription to, would have made doctors worse because they're not relying on memory. They're going to a source like up to date.
It really distributes responsibility a lot of times. If you're putting an AI into a workflow in order to take out a human or most of a human, that means that some other human needs to be responsible for that output, even if they have never been responsible for it before, and that they don't know that they are responsible for it now. So physicians, because we tend to be the absorbers of liability in a lot of cases, need to be especially aware of these kinds of workflow mismatches and when the responsibility may inadvertently be landing on us without our knowledge when a new tool is introduced.
As a recent medical graduate, I definitely never got any AI training or how do we use different AI tools during the education at all. I will say out of 200 people in my class, there's only 2 people who actually know what AI is and how it can actually be applied to the healthcare field entirely. A lot of physicians, even younger physicians, are not tech savvy at all.
We have to build our own knowledge base. Now, what does that mean? So a knowledge base is something that AI trains off of, okay? So the AI has its own knowledge base from trillions of pieces of data on the internet, but we have to build our own knowledge base. And it's almost like planting a seed, right? And I could encourage this for all entrepreneurial physicians.
General artificial intelligence, depicted commonly in science fiction for the Trekkies out there like myself, that's kind of how data is you can act like a human, learn, understand, apply intelligence across a broad band range of tasks. Artificial superintelligence is a step beyond that. It's surpassing human capacity and smarter than the best human minds, and it supersedes all of human knowledge.
Then moving back into theatre and mixed reality, you can start to anchor the CT images on the patient. So intraoperatively, you can see where the anatomy is, you can see where your instruments are. And again, making sure that that patient is getting the best possible care. So this is quite cool. But you can take it a step further and start to bring AI in. So this is a company called Dizio from Helsinki, who use foot fractures, hand fractures, and jaw fractures. CT scan, CT into the AI. The AI understands the anatomy and can tell you where the forces are that are working across that fracture. And so the next step it can then do is tell you, well, what's the best possible fixation method?
There have been machine translation models out there for the last maybe 15 or so years. The big difference maker has been in the last few years with the advent of something called the transformer model, which is a piece of technology related to machine learning that really unlocked a lot more intelligence from these models. I'm sure everyone here has played with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is based on what we call a transformer.
So here are some challenges and ethical considerations too when it comes to AI and patient advocacy. The first is bias. So ask yourself, is the data accurate, relevant, and free from stakeholder agendas? That's something that I cannot stress enough is, if you look at medical studies or just studies overall, look to see who the data comes from and look to see who funds said study or said foundation. There's usually an agenda with strings attached to it.
Question here that you want to think about is what would change if every AI algorithm required a physician's signature of compassion, not just compliance? So think about the algorithm. Think about the physician's compassion. How would that change things if we started designing these algorithms with compassion in mind and care?
There's a code for that the software will know that this single code references my language. And we see this when we browse the internet. You go to a website, you can select a language. The same standards apply to that in your EHR. And that's how you can use that workflow and the tooling to know exactly, okay, we need this interpreter service immediately, even in the intake, or the software will already know that, okay, I'm going to use this code to trigger this language. Even patient portals can use this.
So, there's a lot of investment barriers. It's mainly time, right? We're always running out of time, but AI, as you know, is leveling the playing field. You could be, compressing months of analysis into minutes, like Excel files, crunching numbers, things like that. You can even create your own AI bots now, even learning about you and how you like to judge things and how you want to take risks. So it's going to be a personalized way of how you can manage your own investments.
Poor communication with patients is the leading cause of medical errors. An estimated 25 million people in the United States have limited English proficiency, and this is especially prevalent in areas with high numbers of immigrants. As a practicing physician in pediatric emergency departments, I have experienced the frustration that I'm sure a lot of you have of having to wait for live interpreters.
Let's talk about the reality gap, right? We know there's a gap, and it's rarely because the model itself was very bad. It's almost always because there's a difference between what the tool was designed to do and what we are actually doing at 2 a.m. on a really busy service day, right? When everything seems to be just like falling apart. That's what always happens. So sometimes it's that maybe we're solving the wrong problem. We're just not asking the right question, right? We think from the algorithm and, oh, this is a great problem to solve. But is that a problem that needs to be solved for the front line?